guys, and welcome back to another video. Today we have the end of the year book tag. I believe this is the first book tag that I do, so bear with me. It's really short, really fun. It was created by Ariel Bassett here on BookTube a few years ago, and I love watching tags, so I've seen a lot of people creating their end of the year book tag already, and I thought I would jump in as well because it is November 27 and we still have a whole month ahead of ourselves before the end of the year. So there are a few books that I still want to read and I'm still really excited for. So let's get started. The first question is, are there any books that you've started this year but haven't finished? And for that, I have Daisy Jones and the Six by Taylor Jenkins Reid. The first book I read by her was The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, and I love that book. And ever since I started reading her other books, and this book came out this year and it was so hyped on this platform. It's gonna be a TV show, and I picked it up like during the summer and just got like 50 pages in, and I didn't continue until 2 days ago that I decided to pick it up because it is time. I did not DNF'd it by any means. I just wasn't in the mood, and it was so hyped that it wasn't living to my expectations at that moment. But I picked it up. I am currently reading this book right now. I am on page 200 and I am flying through this book. I'm listening to the audiobook, which I recommend. If you don't know anything about this, which I doubt it, it's about a rock band and it deals with sex, drugs, music business, and friendship, marriage. Thus far, it's all I know. The second question is, do you have any autumnal books to transition into the end of the year? And for me, I really don't have any sort of a specific book that does that. I just love fantasy and I am a big mood reader as well. So whatever I want to read, I will read. But I do have two choices, and one of them is, of course, Harry Potter, any Harry Potter book. Right now, I've been trying to reread the series. I already read the first book and I need to read the second book, but on the illustrated edition. But I do have another series that I like to reread during this time because I think it just gives me all the winter feels, and that is The Chronicles of Narnia. This book I have right here is The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, and I'm gonna tell you why this book and not the first one. It's because I love watching the movie. I think the movie is like one of my favorite transitions into winter because obviously everything is frozen. I watched it twice already. But yes, The Chronicles of Narnia is like one of my other favorite books to read during this time. The third question is, are there any book releases that you're still waiting for this year? And my answer is no. I would say that all of the books I wanted to read this year have come out already. But this year I started reading the Dark Crown series, and the last book came out in September, I believe. So that is 5 Dark Fates. I am also reading at the moment. I'm not really far in, but this was like my most anticipated book of the year after I started reading the books. And I mean, it's out already. If you guys don't know this series, it is about 3 sisters who need to pretty much kill each other until one's standing to become the queen. They are triplets, and it's very dark fantasy, and I love it, and I believe you guys will love it too if you guys like fantasy. I think this is an amazing dark fantasy book to read. The third question is, what are 3 books that you want to read before the end of the year? And for that, I have The Name of the Wind by Patrick Rothfuss. I've been meaning to read this book for a very long time, but I want to read it during the holiday break, like Christmas break, and I think I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna have about 2 weeks off of work, and I don't have anything, like I don't have school anymore, so it has been my dream to read this book during a Christmas break, and I think it's gonna finally happen. I do plan on blogging that whole thing, so I'm really excited about this book. I honestly don't know anything about this book. Like, I'm going into it blindly. I've managed to not be spoiled or not listen to or not hear any reviews of it because everyone loves it so much, and I trust it. The next book I'm planning to read, it is Serpent and Dove. Everyone read this book when it came out. I bought it, but I haven't read it yet. I'm planning to read it after I'm done with Five Dark Fates because I feel like it's gonna have the same, hopefully the same darkness as that series. I'm not sure. It is about a witch and a hunter. They fall in love, so I'm here for that, and I think it's gonna be a super fun read. I'm not expecting too much out of it. Honestly, I'm just expecting to have a fun time with it, if that makes sense. And the last book I have, it's totally a summer book maybe, but not really, and that is Well Met by Jen DeLuca. This book just came out not long ago, and I've been meaning to read it because it has a Renaissance fair in it, and I remember the first time I went to a Renaissance fair, I loved it. They had this cinnamon popcorn that I will never forget. I've never been able to find anything like it, and it just bothers me because it was so good. I had so much fun during that time. I was in high school. I had to be a volunteer with my class to sell pomegranate tea. I believe it was pomegranate juice, pomegranate tea, something like that. It was so good. My teacher made it. So I know this is a little contemporary, and I love listening to contemporary on my commute to work because it's very fluffy, it's very easy to follow, and romance, of course. I love romance, and I believe this book is gonna be a really good one. I can't wait to read it. The next question is there a book that you believe could still shock you and become your favorite book of the year? And for that, I'm gonna say yes, maybe. It's more of a hope that I will like it and enjoy it as much as everyone else, because I've been looking forward for this book for a very long time, and I really want to enjoy it and love it as a lot of people, and that is The Name of the Wind. Of course, I really want to love this book, and honestly, I am also rooting for Daisy Jones and the Six. The last question is, have you already started making any reading plans for the next year? And my answer is, of course. I plan to read all of the books. I mean, I wouldn't say all of the books, but most of the books I have on my TBR because most of my books I haven't read, so I need to read them. I'm planning to buy books when I'm ready to read them. So if a book is coming out in January, but I know I'm not gonna read it until December, I'm just gonna wait until December to buy it. You know, borrow it from the library maybe. So we'll see how that goes. So that was my end of the year book tag. If you guys made one, please let me know down below so I can go watch it. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye.